I didn't mean to switch over, but I guess I'm here now. So hi, welcome to day 2 of live streaming, day 2 of 39. So I'm gonna be doing this for another 39 days. That's not true. I'm not going to be doing this for another 39 days. Today's the last time live streaming ever. That's also not true. But hello, hi. Because I accidentally switched, you have to give me a second and let me make a tweet. Sorry, a post. No, a tweet that I'm live streaming right now. I am live now and accidentally turned on face cam early. Come say hi. Cool. You love to see it. Okay, so what's on the docket for today's accidental I turned on the face cam early live stream? King-Ohger is over there. Oh, don't hit the mic. King-Ohger. I always hit my microphone. King-Ohger over there. We're gonna talk about King-Ohger. So actually, I lied. The title and the thumbnail are clickbait just a little bit because well, it's not really clickbait. I titled it Movie News. We are going to talk about a little bit of the King-Ohger movie. The King-Ohger movie doesn't really have much except for like a cool suit that I'll briefly talk about. But I'll talk about stuff from King-Ohger, the show, of course. And in Geats, originally the main thing for Geats was just the movie, and they have a whole new form, so that would have been more exciting to talk about. But then I was also like, I'll talk about whatever happens in Superhero Time. And then in Superhero Time, we got a new writer revealed, and then a pseudo writer revealed for gotchard. Like, more gotchard news dropped the day I did my live stream on gotchard stuff. So I'm also going to talk just a little bit more about gotchard, so that's fun. So I guess we might as well get right to it. So King-Ohger. This is a recap image. This is stuff that's already happened. I just figured we put it here to look at it because it looks nice. So the big thing for King-Ohger in this next month is the mecha. The final mecha, at least for now. Maybe we'll get other stuff. I know we're getting King Kyoryujin, but I wouldn't really count that because it's like Kyoryujin. It's an older mecha in the current show, so ignore that. But this is the King Caucasus Kabuto, or it's the cat. You can see at the top right. It's the castle in the season. Which was, I think, called the Caucasus Kabuto Castle. And then it turns into a robot called the King Caucasus Kabuto? I don't know if I'm getting that terminology right. You can let me know if I'm getting it wrong. But either way, it's basically what people have been saying for a while, and we've actually known this for a while. And it's the castle is turning into a robot. I think, yeah, and it's appearing in the next episode. So, this is pretty cool. Like, I feel like everyone was kind of expecting it. Like, as soon as we saw it in the show, a lot of people were like, those look like arms and legs just folded up. And then we got leaks that it was happening. So, it was kind of inevitable, but it's cool that it's finally happening. And I think we did talk about this a long time ago, because we got it leaked a long time ago. So, this is our first time seeing it in the show. So I guess I'll just reiterate some of my, like, previous points. Like, I like the castle becoming a mecha. It's cool. I like the design of it. It's a little blocky, but I like the black and gold is a cool color scheme, so I can ignore that. And I like the red on the chest. Didn't really see that before. And I think it's interesting too. It's like a 2-part mecha. Like, it's the actual robot is like a tank thing instead of just a bug, which is cool. And then the other thing is like a little friend that turns into a weapon. Like, it's another guardian weapon, I guess, as an axe. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, yeah, the cockpit is seems to be Gira sitting in the throne. with the sword. So that's pretty awesome. I do like that. Has the Sentai base become a Zord before? I can't remember. Yes, it is a trend. As someone also pointed out, since the first poster, people were speculating the castle would be a mecha because that's been a trend. At least Deca Ranger did it with the police base, and then Q Ranger also did it, kinda. Like, I mean, they did do it, but it was like they introduced a different like base that was the Zord to be the mecha, so it was kind of like a bit of a here's your new base, but it's also a Zord. But I guess they did do it as well. So, and then it does look a little different, I will say, the cockpit, because he's in the throne, but he doesn't have the normal background. It's got like the hieroglyphics in the back. So I wonder if the whole thing like if he rotates in it, or something comes down and closes it. I don't know. But it is still it's a pretty cool idea. Hi Vaughn, you don't have to buy me the oneness buckle, it's fine. I think I've come to terms with the fact I'll have to buy a gotchard driver for that. That's unfortunate, but hi. And Hawk Achilles is also not buying me the one. I know, I asked everyone, I'm like, hey, you want to buy me the oneness buckle? No one wants to do it. So I'll be buying my own oneness buckle. Thank you very much. So this is the thing I'm really excited for with the mecha. Like, this looks cool, but it's also CG, so it's like kind of disappointing. The thing is, it's CG, but it doesn't look very dynamic. Like, Tarantula Knight was CG, but at least in that first fight scene, like, they had it moving and doing like Spider-Man poses. So like, it seemed like they did it CG so they could do these action scenes they couldn't do with suits. This, I mean, granted, we haven't seen it in action, but like it's just standing so awkwardly, and like this image that I've used it for the thumbnail, it just looks weird. I don't know, like it doesn't look the way it's standing doesn't look right. So I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed this one is CG, but if the trade-off was CG mecha or CG final combination, I will gladly take real suit if we have to get the CG mecha, because getting this monstrosity of a final combo is, as a real suit, after like what, since I think people were saying, well, since G12 is the first time we got like a real cluster of a robot as a real suit, I believe. So this looks awesome. I love this. Like, purely love this just because it looks like a mess and it's a real suit and it uses everything. It's so cool. I love it. I mean, it looks kind of cool as well. Like, I do like the spider legs on the back have the guardian weapons, so he's got like 4 weapons going on. I think that's pretty cool, and it's also really nice that it is black and gold, so it flows very nicely with the legend shoe god. And when this comes out, and when the King-Ohger Zero toy comes out, I'm looking forward to seeing some combos of the. I assume people will do combos of this with the or King Caucasus with the King-Ohger Zero with the Legend Shoe God, because it'll just be like a black and gold cluster, and that'll look really cool. So I'm really excited to see this thing in action. Like, it's just gonna be a man crushed by the weight of foam, but it'll look cool. And one other thing that's interesting as well is you can see it's fighting. I didn't notice it until I did this stream and I looked at this image, but it's fighting Death Narok on the left, and I don't think he's grown big before. And the same with Kamijin on the right, but Death Narok I think is a bigger deal growing big. So, you know, when the final boss grows big, it usually means something. Usually means they're going to die. Let's not beat around the bush. I think. Oh, look, they do count the axe as a guardian weapon, so that's cool. I think this man is going, or this creature, these guys are dead. Granted, they might not be dead because one little nitpick I have with King-Ohger is like I like how active Deathnarok is and how often they're fighting him, but I don't feel like he doesn't feel like a final boss to me anymore. Like they fought him, what like he was on the field and they like kind of had like a little skirmish and then he left in like some of the early episodes. I like that. Then they like really defeated him in the debut of Legend King-Ohger. I like that. Then Jeremy kind of does like a fight with him, but it was like fake. Haha, fake. So that's whatever. But then after that, he had an actual fight with Deathnarok. Just the Sixth Ranger and defeated him. And then later on, he had another solo fight with Deathnarok in the episode before this one where Gira and Heracles they fought. So he's just not a, I don't know, to me he just doesn't feel like a threat anymore. Like he's just like a dude they fight so often, and it's like whatever, dude. Like I don't know, like now with Heracles gone, I don't know, like Heracles was a really interesting villain, and I appreciated the Deathnarok because we could have classic Sentai fight monster of the week stuff, but the Heracles was like the real big villain. He was the real one. Like the way they contrasted each other was so nice. But now he's gone, and I do like that they're doing interesting things with him being gone. But now, I don't know. We just got this boring guy. He's the one that everyone's worried about, I guess. So I do genuinely hope that maybe this is a defeat and something unique happens now with the Bugnarok. Either a new super Bugnarok guy comes in, a new villain faction, whatever, or Heracles comes back because he's definitely not dead. So yeah, keeping him in castle mode until Zero comes out. You should have Zero ride the castle. I think that would be funny. So yeah, some of you have been mentioning Kyoryuger and the Gabutira. So we know that the Kyoryugers are coming, or at least King is coming with a Gabutira, a new Kyoryuger. And we actually got more details. I don't have like an image here for it, but apparently the red Gaburi caliber gives King a new power-up thing that is just Kyoryu Red Carnival with the Kuwagata Ohsama armor on him, which doesn't sound very interesting, but maybe it'll look fine, so I won't pass judgment. And then apparently our Gabutira, the new Gabutira, is like, it's a Gabutira and Dorikira and Stegochi apparently. So it's actually all three components, and it's like a smaller Gabutira on the scale of Kyoryuger or King-Ohger, and then the combination doesn't I don't think it uses Dorikira and Stegochi. It just uses the Gabutira part, and then it's like the Dragon Zord combo in MMPR Mighty Morphin, where like he steals the legs of King-Ohger, but he makes his own arms, and I think he has Hachi and a Papillion as a sword piece. So it's basically Kuwagata Ohsama, like replacing Kuwagata Ohsama, but it is like a little different. Like it's not just, I mean, I guess it is, but some of the transformation would obviously be different. So that is going to be interesting to see, because if they are literally doing Kyoryugen, like all three versions, because I thought if it was just Gabutira and a new version of Kyoryugen, it would be like a new kind of mecha thing. But if it is just Kyoryugen with all three dinos that make it, like I'm interested to see, like, is that just Kyoryugen? Like they're not gonna address it like, oh, it's a brand new Kyoryugen. They're just gonna like, hey, my Kyoryugen can combine with your King-Ohger, available in stores now. Yeah, so we still don't know how he's showing up and stuff. Someone mentioned in the comments of my video when I talked about it, they said it would be really funny if the episode starts with King getting run over by a truck. and they don't address it at all. And the implication is he got isekai'd into the King-Ohger universe. And that would be funny. If they did that, just to not address it, that would be funny. But I do think it's more likely he's just going to show up and they're not going to address it's a different universe or whatever. If they do, I will be very surprised. I'm not really expecting that. Yeah, so I think that is... Oh, no, I was going to say, that's it for the King-Ohger show. The movie, as I said, the movie came out. Movie news. It's in the title, the thumbnail. So this is the zombified transformation of the first king of Shugadum. He died. He ended up in the land of the dead because that's just what happens. They go to the land of the dead in the King-Ohger movie, and when he transforms, he turns into this thing. And this thing is really cool. I really like it because I was personally, I thought that I thought that they would just take Kuwagata Ohger, or sorry, Kuwagata Ohger, because he's using the gold sword, the Ohger Caliber 0. I thought they would just take Silver Kuwagata Ohger and just add something to it, like either just drapes or something. I even made a joke, would they give him the red eyes from Zyuohger and Kira Major, and then this drops and it's like, no, it's an entirely new suit, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm a little disappointed. It doesn't seem like he's counted as a ranger. I think it would have been cool if he was Kuwagata Ohger zombie or something, but it's fine. Yes, yeah, I've seen a lot of people said it was a really good movie, so I am looking forward to that, because usually the Sentai movies are pretty decent, so I am looking forward to this movie, especially just because they made a whole new, pseudo ranger suit for the bad guy. He transforms using a real transformation device. I think that's pretty cool, so I'm looking forward to seeing that, and it is really cool. I've seen some people say it's another Kuwagata Ohger, the Another Riders from Geo. So it does kind of give off that vibe. So that's nice. And the red eye thing, it's a really creepy idea. I don't know, it just adds this unsettling aspect. So it's a cool suit. It's nice. And actually on the left too, first of all, he's doing the saber pose. I don't know what that's about. And he has a shield, so it seems like he also has a zombified version of the king's weapon. So that's just a nice little touch. It's yeah, we'll make him a little different. So yeah, I am looking forward to. I didn't even say his name because I don't really know how to say it. I think it's Rinial or something. Can I read the hiragana on the picture? Let me see if I can. I need to zoom in. I need to open it in a separate tab so I can zoom in on it. Kaijin Tari Kaijin Tari, monster form, I think. So that's not his name, but it is referred to as a monster form rather than a ranger form. So cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and also I do have to wonder if they're using this in the show too, because it seemed like it's so unlike. Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it feels unlike recent Sentai to make a whole new suit like this for a one-off movie villain, because I guess I was gonna say Dawn Brothers, they made the Hurricaneer Hitosuki, but then I mean, the Hitosukis aren't entirely new suits. Most of it was just a reuse, like they all are, and then they repainted that anyway. So I have to wonder if this is going to appear in the show. They made it for a movie, but maybe it's going to be in the show. And I've seen some of you even in the chat have been saying Rackles should use it, and I agree. It would be really badass if he shows up with this, or maybe they repaint it a little bit. But I feel like it's going to appear in some aspect in the show, and I hope it does because it looks cool. So they did that with Powered Builder and Geats, so they could use this in the show. That's true, but they also, when it's a rider toy, they usually use it in the show. This would be a Sentai toy even. This is a bit different because it's just a Kaijin form, so it's not really I don't know if they put it in the show, but I think it's a pretty safe bet if it's a whole new suit they made. Also, they haven't officially addressed it yet. Like these these are pictures from like the pamphlets and like merchandise for the movie. But then Toei hasn't tweeted out an official, or sorry, Z'd out an official image of the renewal form. I don't know. I just thought I'd point that out. Rackley's dies, comes back from the dead in the suit, and then his suit breaks off into Okuagata when he's saved. That would be really cast off. Oh, even because he's a Kuwagata. Yeah. Although I do, the thing is, I don't think Rackley's is dead. Like, I know they showed his coffin in the latest episode, but like they also had Gira's coffin, and he was inside of it, and he was gonna break out and show everyone he's alive. So I don't know, I wish the other King-Ohgers were like, okay, when Gira died, Rackley's was trying to find his body to prove he was dead. Guess what? He never found his body because he was still alive. The other King-Ohgers were aware of this because they were moving him around. So I wish they were like, I don't know. I mean, maybe just because it's weird in universe to be like, I don't think this person we saw fall off a cliff is dead. But I wish they were like, well, we haven't found Rackley's body yet, so maybe he's alive. But also, I haven't seen the latest episode sub yet, so maybe they were like, his body's in it. We saw it. It's in there. He's dead. So, I don't know. The villain from Psycho Battle, Dai Satin, reappeared in Ryusoldier. Yeah, I forgot they did that. That was weird. They repainted that, and then he came back in Dino Fury. We're not talking about Dino Fury anymore. So yeah, this is about it for Sentai. Even addressed to Kyoryuger news, which I was thinking I'd forget. But is it me or the King-Ohger mechas showing up a little too quickly? This is apparently, I mean, this is gonna be next week, I guess. It's been like 2 months since Kumonos, and this is gonna be, I assume this is the end of the month, so I don't know. I mean, I guess it's up to you, but like it's about the same in Dawn Brothers. Dawn Brothers had them show up even quicker, I think, and it was even stupider in Dawn Brothers because they were just like, hey, we can combine our robots, and then okay, let's do it. The two ones. So I don't know. I don't think they're showing up quickly, but I guess it's up to viewer interpretation. And also, I guess I didn't even, since we've talked about this before, I didn't even address the fact that this says 20 little bugs combining to make it, and I think that's pretty cool. This thing makes me tempted to buy the mecha line just because like the toy is a big mess, but I like that. I like this big 20 bug combination. That's badass. And also I like the sword, the lance, because it's like cross saber, and where it has attacks for all of the mecha. Then the combination names all of the bugs. I like stuff like that, so maybe next, when King-Ohger ends, I'll go and buy at least, I don't know, at least the lance. But I also always say, maybe when insert show here ends, I'll buy insert toy here, and then that never happens, so don't take my word for it. Will Koichi Sakamoto return to direct Kyoryuger 10th anniversary? He's been like off the map, off the grid for like the entire year. So I think probably, because it's like if he hasn't done anything else and there's a Kyoryuger thing happening, probably. I do think he's working on, he's cooking something for Kyoryuger. I feel like that's pretty likely. Extreme King-Ohger was 2 weeks ago, and we're getting King Caucasus mech form the same time as the Shoe God form, or before the Shoe God form. Was Extreme 2 weeks ago? It feels like it was years ago for me. So, Koichi needs to come back to Sentai period. That's true. He'll do a good job. So, oh yeah, okay. So I included this in this because Earth Garon's friend, And I wanted to let everyone know that Ultraman Blazar is available to watch on YouTube for free with English subtitles, multi-language subtitles, English audio, Japanese audio, and I'm doing shorts reviews on it. If you go to my shorts tab, today I uploaded my review of episode 4 of this show, Ultraman Blazar, and I really liked episode 4. So that's all. This is the only image here. So so Kamen Rider. So I wasn't planning on talking about gotchard today. Actually, no. I have this. Well, ignore that. I put in this image because I was gonna be like, oh, reminder, I did a gotchard live stream, and I forgot to move this in the slideshow. So now we're talking about gotchard. They dropped a teaser trailer for the press conference. So it has like gotchard's civilian form in there, but you don't see his face. It is just his waist and the belt. So it doesn't really tell us anything. We see him riding the bike in it, so that's cool. They also dropped a bunch of like high quality images of gotchard. So if you really like that gotchard suit, I think I linked it in the description, like the Ranger board tweets. They include all the images, so I don't have most of them here. So we also got a look at the Aparesquebo's form and the weapon, which is dumb, but whatever. So if you want to see that, you should check the link out. But this is the main thing I want to talk about. This guy was also in the teaser, and then they accidentally revealed this photo, I think. So this, I think the katakana name in Japanese is Valvorodo, I think, which seems like it'll translate to Valve Rod for us. So I'm just going to say Valve Rod for this, but that is subject to change, a different name. And this suit is hot. I really like this suit. Let's see. There's so much to break down. I mean, like, first of all, it's just a cool looking suit, right? Like, it looks really badass. I really like the pose he's doing, like where he's got the collar. It's really cool. The thing everyone's talking about, and it's easily like the coolest thing ever, is you can kind of see it here, but like I don't know, you can kind of notice it better from the wide angle, which is the left side of his face is a wrench, but like they've angled it so like the back part is like a spike, the front part is like a spike. He's got a spike on the other half, so like it lines up, but it's not completely symmetrical. And then the adjuster piece for the wrench is the other eye, and that is so cool. That is this. When Toei cooks, they cook, and this is incredible looking. So I really love the suit design, and then the colors are cool too, the pink and black and stuff. So suit looks incredible. This we'll stay on this image for a second because this is really interesting to me. Because you can see in it, he has Mad Wheel in the sword, which to me implies, or I don't know what it really implies, because I guess it's kind of crazy because Mad Wheel was one of the first cards we had leaked, and I thought it would just be a form change. I assume everyone thought it would just be a form change. So to see it now, it's like, hey, guess what? This is actually a base form for a rider. Get to that in a second. That is kind of crazy. Gotchard uses Mad Wheel in the movie cameo, so it also makes me curious what's happening to Mad Wheel here. Like, are there multiple Mad Wheel cards? They both have one. They both got one of the booster packs and got a Mad Wheel, or is is it like a Flying Falcon thing where Gotchard starts with Mad Wheel or Mad Pirates? He has that form, then he loses Mad Wheel, and it Valverod takes it, or does Valverod have it, and then Gotchard has it for like a form. I want to know. I mean, either way, it seems like this card's being passed around, so we're doing like Flying Falcon stuff. So that's really cool. I love when gimmicks get passed around. So I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of dynamic. So then the other thing that's really cool, as some of you have been pointing out, he looks like Chaser, or Machine Chaser, from Kamen Rider Drive. And the reason for that is that according to all the leaks and stuff we got, is that this is a pseudo rider. This is like Machine Chaser, because Machine Chaser is not a Kamen Rider. So he is a pseudo rider. For those of you who don't know what a pseudo rider is, it is like Machine Chaser, Night Rogue and Bloodstock, I feel like, are two of the best examples where they're basically like Kamen Riders. Like, if you looked at it, you're kind of like, that looks like a Kamen Rider. But there might be like a design difference that kind of throws it off in the season itself. But Toei will not actually call them Kamen Riders, and usually they don't actually transform like other Kamen Riders. Like, most pseudo riders don't use a belt, they'll use a gun or something, and Kamen Riders have obviously transformed with guns. But in this case, it's like the distinction to show they're not a rider. And also, they usually don't say henshin when they transform. They'll say, like in Build, they said jokets instead of henshin or something. So, this guy is a pseudo rider. We don't know what he says to transform. I'm praying. I'm on my knees, Toei. Please give him a unique henshin call. I don't care what it is. It could be whatever word you want. I really want it to be not henshin. Just a totally different name, because I love that. Then the other crazier part is he's a pseudo rider, but he's not just a rival. He is he's the secondary rider, apparently. Like, all the leaks have said that this guy is, for all intents and purposes, takes the role of a secondary rider in the season, but he is not a Kamen Rider. Like, he's the secondary rider, but he's not a rider. And it's like, how does that happen? How does that even work? I don't care. I love it. That is awesome. Because personally, I love pseudo riders. Like, I love when we can have more suited characters that transform, sell you toys, but it doesn't feel like we're being like, the season's not bloated with like so many Kamen Riders. It's still like it gives us Kamen Riders. Like, it gives us basically Kamen Riders, but they're not actually Kamen Riders. So, like, I think I've said it before, like, my ideal season, and they'll never do this, but I think it would be really cool if we got a season at some point where the main rider has a rider belt, all that stuff, and you can throw in as many riders, like, other suited characters as you want, but none of them are actually Kamen Riders. Give them guns, give them swords, give them whatever. They don't say henshin. They're not counted as Kamen Riders. They're all pseudo riders. I think that would be a really fun way to give us all the suited characters with toys and stuff that you want. You make all that money, but it doesn't take away that distinction, like, of what makes a Kamen Rider, which, granted, in recent years just hasn't really mattered, but some people wish they kept the distinction, like, Kamen Rider is important, and then at a certain point you can introduce another rider, and that's when it's like, big deal. Like, 2 Kamen Riders in this season, big deal. So this seems like maybe they're doing that. Like, if our secondary isn't actually a secondary Kamen Rider, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for the season? It seems like there's no rumor about this, but it's just kind of interpretation that he'll probably get an upgrade form that makes him a Kamen Rider Valvrod, like Machine Chaser turned into Kamen Rider Chaser. Which I foresee that happening. Like, that seems 100% happening. But I'm really curious to see when that will happen. And I really like to know, like, cause I'm split on when I'd like it to happen. Cause on one hand, I think it's really incredible to have, like, the secondary rider's character arc is presumably turning into a Kamen Rider. Like, one of his upgrades is just going to be him becoming a Kamen Rider, and that is such a badass idea. Like, to do something like that. I guess they kind of did that like in 01, I guess, where a little assassin became Ikazuchi, but they created a whole new character for Ikazuchi, so it was dumb. But in this case, it seems like they would be doing like a better version of that. It is, he starts out as a Kamen Rider, or as not a Kamen Rider, and his journey is becoming a Kamen Rider. On the other hand, I don't know, I think it's really cool. I think it's cool to keep a pseudo rider as the secondary rider character. So it would be kind of fun if he just stays as a pseudo rider. But I think it is cool to have, like, a journey of him becoming a Kamen Rider. So, some of you are mentioning Decade. It seems like he is not Decade. Our description of the Kamen Rider Decade suit of the season has always been the tertiary rider. So this isn't, I know it looks like him because he's got a white bottom half and a magenta top half, but this is not Decade. This is a different character. The Decade character is a different suit, which apparently looks like gold Decade. That information came out today. So okay. But yeah, this is not Decade. A lot of people are like, whoa, it's Chaser, it's Decade. This is not Decade. Let's see, is that Tsukasa? No. Are premium Beroba and Kekra pseudo riders? I don't know. That one's kind of up to interpretation because they don't say henshins. They're not Kamen Riders. They transform using Kamen Rider transformation devices. So that kind of fulfills the idea of a pseudo rider. But then on the other hand, they don't say anything when they transform, and they look like Kaijin. So I don't know. I guess it's up to you. Personally, I wouldn't count them as pseudo riders. I think they look more like Kaijin, and like they fit the Jamato theme a bit better. But it's whatever you decide. I feel I don't care as long as you don't call them Kamen Riders because they're not Kamen Riders. What if Valverado is one of Hotoro gotchard's classmates? Yeah, I mean that could be. Obviously, one of the riders is probably a classmate. I feel like I don't know. Obviously, I could be wrong, but just looking at this suit, looking at the mannerisms, it doesn't. It would be weird if a high school student is in this suit to me. I don't know. It doesn't it doesn't feel like a high schooler in the suit would like take away the edge of it. Like I feel like this has to be an adult man or something that's like beating people up. But on the other hand, I could see it being like the high school bully. So that could be a fun thing. So that's Valverod. And that's about it for the gotchard news. Yeah, we just got our look at Valverod. Again, I know we got, if you missed yesterday, we got a ton of other gotchard news, but I talked all about it yesterday. I did a whole live stream about gotchard, talked about all that. I went through the website, looked at all the cards. So if you want to know more about my gotchard thoughts on the new news, go check out that live stream. And also you could check out my other gotchard videos that I've uploaded so far. So that pose makes me think girl. Personally, I don't see what's feminine about this pose, especially since I feel like guys have also done like a pose like this in like other shows or movies. Like Bane does this in like The Dark Knight Rises, so you take away an arm and now it's just this guy, like he's just grabbing his collar. And also that would mean like a female secondary rider technically, and Toei probably won't do that because they don't like women. So also, no, I guess we can't say anything until Decade appears, but it seems like we're heading towards the first Reiwa season. Or no, I guess Saber didn't have a female tertiary, so never mind, ignore me. Could be a teacher. Yeah, it could be a teacher. A delinquent character. Yeah, it could be I could see it as a delinquent student. Yeah, that would make sense. That would fit. So Geats news. So I included the scans, and then we immediately just leave the scan. Wait, no, there should be another. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. So there's this image here for Geats, and it's the 4 riders together. It's about it. It's not really much to take away from it. I saw some people saying that they're probably gonna end this fight with all of them in their final forms, but then Buffa might be messing that up, but I'll address that in a second. Or no, I'll address it now. Buffamao, we don't know where Buffamao is. We learned about Buffamao like in February or March of this year, so that is a real thing, because that's been in part of leak lists that had like even this stupid thing had Bujin, had Fantasy, the Recolor Seeker, so we've known about Buffamao. Buffamao was real. The thing is, like, it could still show up in the final episodes of the show, but I feel like we've reached a point where it makes sense it would have appeared, so it's just like, where is it? And I think I saw some people have been talking about online that apparently, like, because of the pandemic, some toy manufacturing issues have arisen recently, which is why, like, if you ordered a Laser Raise Riser or Boost Mark II, like, there was a lot of shipping issues with that because of the toy manufacturing. Apparently some of these final forms, like Bujin Sword, Fantasy, I guess Buffalo as well, were planned to appear like earlier in the show, but they were like delayed because of production issues, and that's why now they're all showing up in the final act of the show as Premium Bandai. So it seems like it could be a production thing with Buffalo. See, the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a V-Cinema form, but that means it got pushed into being a V-Cinema form, because that showed up in February. They weren't even done writing the show in February. So like, that's just how this always works. Like, they write it like a few months ahead and they film it a few months ahead. So to have a V-Cinema form planned out in February, and also it's part of the Premium Bandai like listings, so that means it would come out like in the next couple of months. If it was the V-Cinema form, it would be packed in with the DVD. It would not be Premium Bandai, and would be coming out next year. So we wouldn't even know about it if it was real, or if it was a V-Cinema form, we wouldn't even know about it. So it was I think it was planned as a thing in the show, but I do think it got pushed to a V-Cinema thing because of the production issues. I don't think it was planned as a V-Cinema thing, but I feel like it might have been pushed back because of production things. Because in the latest episode, he pulls out Jamashin form. That just comes back, and it's cool. I like that he brought it back, and I wouldn't mind if that was his final form. But like, he doesn't end the fight in Jamashin form, so it's like, is that his final form, or is it just he just had it as a power boost and he's never gonna use it again? Because like, where's Fever? He doesn't have a Fever buckle. And then the other side of that is like, if Buffalo is still appearing in the show, then it's appearing like in the last episode of the season, and that's just like weird. I don't know, like, what role does that play in the story? Like, is he the final antagonist and that's his form to go up against Geats 9, which would be pretty badass, but I don't know, that doesn't really fit, I feel. But yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't mind if that happens like at the end, because then it's not a V-Cinema form. But I don't know, it's honestly, it's really just up to you, like, right now it seems, because I think it could have been pushed into a V-Cinema form, but the thing is, it seems like it was planned to be in the show, because we learned about it so long ago that, like, that wouldn't have been a V-Cinema form. So, yeah, and some of you are bringing up there's this one image of a buffa form in a catalog scan or a magazine scan, and that is fake, because it's someone's fan art, and then someone photoshopped it to look like it was in a magazine. So yeah, that's fake. They could still have it in the show even if they couldn't sell the toy right away. Yeah, that is a good point. Like, it because it's Premium Bandai, they wouldn't be making it anyways in the show, or it wouldn't be coming out in the show anyways, but I feel like it might be the production issue thing. I don't know, it just feels weird if they had that set as a thing to be in the show and then they're like, now it's a V-Cinema. I guess maybe they were planning the V-Cinema stuff and they're like, oh, we have no idea what to do for this, let's just do buffa, and we're gonna steal the buffa power up and then put the other thing in the show. Like, maybe it's just weird production shuffling about. I don't know. Feels a little weird Geats using Magnum and Boost again due to him getting used to Boost Mark 9. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have all of them in their base forms. I like that. The only way I can naturally see Buffalo showing up is a Grease Blizzard situation where he uses it and immediately dies afterward. That would be really interesting, actually. That would actually go kind of crazy if they did that. If they gave him a Grease Blizzard thing, because like that would fit his character really nicely, I think. So who knows? Actually, yeah, that would actually be really badass. If it was production issues and when did they have to change the script? I mean, well, yeah, they would have to change the form he's using, like, that's, like, the fact he uses Jamashin in the latest episode is why I'm thinking, like, it was probably planned for that kind of moment, but then they couldn't do it, so then they just shuffled things, and they're like, now he's using Jamashin again. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. Again, all of this is just speculation. All we know is that there was, like, the Buffamao leak listing and the images we got of it, that is stuff that actually happened. Like, there is a Buffamao toy, like, that exists, but it's just, like, is it appearing in the last 3 episodes of the show? Is it, or did it get shuffled into V Cinema? Yes, it was confirmed before Bujin and Fantasy, and then it was part of leak lists with Bujin and Fantasy. So since Bujin and Fantasy have happened, we know, like, it was, I don't want to say it was a real thing, because as far as we know, it's still happening. I don't imagine they would have scrapped that, but we don't know, it hasn't appeared yet. So it's like, where is it? So, yeah. So next episode, what we do know is happening. Well, actually, I do want to address next episode, but it's not next week. I don't know what's happening next week, but there's something that means Geats is not airing next week. However, Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger is. So next episode of King-Ohger is next week, and this thing is debuting. But next week, Geats is not airing. Geats is airing in 2 weeks, and it's going to debut some of this stuff. So I don't know about this. So when we got a leak that there was a thing called the Girion driver appearing in Geats, and I was like, no, that's stupid. Don't do this again, because they did this with Revice. They were like, here is a final boss, new driver just for the final boss. Have fun, enjoy it. And it was stupid. And I did not like it. So then we got a leak. A Girion driver was happening, and it sounded like a final boss thing. And I was like, please do not do that. See, I will say this is a weird thing. People were like, oh, Jiddo's using it. And I'm like, did you assume that because they both have a J-I? I think that was a lucky guess. I don't know. Like, they got lucky that they said that. I was personally saying, I think that it's Zillion driver, and then it's going to be the name of Zane's driver from Outsiders, because it's a reuse of the 1000 drivers, so from 1000 to Zillion. But then a bunch of people started saying the Zillion drivers appearing in Geats, and I'm like, do you guys hear yourselves that there's something called Zillion appearing in the show? That makes no sense. That doesn't fit anything that's been established in the show. So stop. So I think it's called the Girion driver. If it's called the Zillion driver, I refuse to call that, because that's stupid. Why are you calling it in this show the Zillion driver? So either way, it's happening. It's giving Jiddo a rider form. I don't think, see, rumors have been calling it Kamen Rider Regard, which is a stupid name, by the way, but they haven't actually addressed the name of it in, like, scans. So I don't know. Some of you are asking if Saber did the driver thing too. It did, but that was the final boss, like, earlier. Like, it was before the final form that we got, like, a final rider belt and stuff. This, like, I'm referring to in the last, like, 3 episodes of the show, they give us a new rider and belt, and that's the final boss. That's what I mean. Like, with Saber and 01 as well. It was like, dude, we've known for a long time getting up in 01. It's not even a new belt; it's a new attachment and stuff. So I don't really count that. But in Saber, it was not in the last 2 episodes of the show. It was way earlier, and it was used as the final boss. So I don't mind that. If this appeared like 10 episodes again, I would actually still kind of hate it, but I wouldn't be as upset. But this appearing in the last 3 episodes, it's just kind of annoying. I don't really like it. And then I'm, like, so mixed on the suit as well, because it's red, gold, black, and it's incredible. Like, I love that color scheme, and the suit is, like, so close to being awesome, but something about it just looks wrong. And maybe it's just because I didn't want it to happen, and I'm just like, I don't like it. Like, this shot is fine enough, but this shot is bad. I don't know what's happening here. Like the head just looks so small on the body, and like I guess it's the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads are too big for like what the suit is trying to do, and it just doesn't look right. Or yeah, it's like too top heavy, I guess, because the other, I think it's using, he's just wearing black pants. Like, it doesn't even use the glare undersuit. He's just, because the glare undersuit had like red bits on the thighs, he's just got black pants on. And I don't know. But then it has coattails, and coattails are really cool. I like that on rider suits. Part of it's also, I don't know, the Vulcan, it's repainting the Assault Wolf suit, and like, I like that suit. I don't mind it as a repaint, but I don't, to me it just, that looks so distinct as Assault Wolf's like piece, that to stick it on here is like, oh, that's Assault Wolf. Like, you can immediately tell what it is. And they've even added new pieces to it, but it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks, Assault Wolf was too unique to be like, oh, yeah, that's Assault Wolf. Because, like, yeah, I don't know, like, or no, like Bujin is a repaint of Command, and you wouldn't really notice, or at least the chest piece, you wouldn't notice that. Even Fantasy, Nago Fantasy is a repaint of Xade, of Brave Fantasy Gamer, and you wouldn't really notice that. Some people thought it was Mark 9, like this, but I don't know, it just looks really, that's whatever, I don't know. And then as I said, I am annoyed with I'm annoyed that they're giving us a new belt. Like, I don't know, part of it's also like, if I wasn't buying these toys, would I be annoyed? Because it looks like I'll be honest, it looks like a cool belt. If it does the LED thing, that'll be cool. But like, they just did this with Revice, where they gave us the LED driver, and then they repainted it later for an LED driver that was also only used in like 2 episodes. And I like regret that I bought that Deathstream driver, because it doesn't do, or I mean, it's cool, but it's like, he used it 2 times and then a movie. It's like, wow, what a thrilling usage of this $200 toy. This thing, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I wish he just used glare. Just use glare. If you have to make a new toy, make the new thing to go in the Vision driver or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I know they make these to sell toys, but this, like, stuff like this is just like, oh yeah, here's a new belt out of nowhere so we can sell a new toy. Especially like Geats has been so good with that. Like, everyone used the Desire driver. Sure, the cores were premium, but like, everyone used the same belt or buckles. The Laser Raise Riser was DX. The Vision driver was premium just because it was like, they can't sell that at retail. It costs them too much to make. But yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if I buy it. I mean, I'll probably buy it eventually, but I don't know if I'm gonna pre-order it, because the Deathstream driver like went cheap. Like the Deathstream driver went down in price after Revice, but then the Vision driver hasn't, and this is a Vision driver basically. So it's just like, do I buy this and because it's gonna get more expensive, or do I just skip it because it's gonna get cheaper? I have no idea. If you guys say you'll watch my video on the Jirion driver, then I will buy it. If you guys say you'll watch it. So at least Jiddo was always a villain, as opposed to George, whose last second heel turn made no sense with his character progression. Yeah, like, if I had to compare this to Revice with Juga, I hate Juga more. Like, that, even as a suit, I think I like this suit better. I don't know about that. I'll have to think about that one. But I hate the Juga thing more. But this, I'm more disappointed at this. Like, we were so close to, like, not just throwing in a last-minute premium Bandai toy. But it happened anyway, so. They used this helmet 4 times and the bear head 3 times. Why did they reuse helmets so much? Well, it's budget. That's how. Also, I mean, Glare and Gazer technically have different helmets, so, but that's, I don't know. Everyone's saying they'll like it, they'll watch it. See, I don't know, because I'm like, I want it, but I don't want it. $4.99 super chat from Seth Inflamed, adding to the driver fund. Thank you for the addition to the driver fund. I will put this in a safe place and add it to the driver fund. Vision Driver only has 3 sounds for Glare, Gazer, and Glare 2. Yeah, I know. I know they couldn't. Like, that's what I was saying. Maybe, like, some people were... Oh, wait, I'll let that play. Once again, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Like, I don't know, they maybe could have found something interesting to do with the slot piece. Like, make a slot thing you put into Vision Driver. That I noticed in the next episode of Geats and the Geats film, Bujin Sword's eye changed from red to black, hinting at Tycoon changing size. Yeah, I did notice that. I noticed that. I think we talked about that in the last magazine scan stream, because that was in the magazine scans. Like, in some of the scans and promo pics, he had the red eyes. And yeah, I guess it was just an indication of him changing sides. That's like a weird, like a really weird thing to do to signify he changed sides, because he already had the red visor. So his eyes already looked red, and the only difference is that, like, 2 little bits are red. But hey, whatever, sure, if you gotta show you turned good, then you can do that. I wish they'd future-proof the P Bandai drivers. It feels like they can never think 3 months ahead. I will say, at least the Glare Vision driver, they did future-proof it. Like, they didn't... Glare 2 happened really close to when the toy actually came out, and it's in the Vision driver. So I will admit, like, they kind of I guess that's what also makes it weird. Like, they really hit it good with, they got the Vision driver and they're like, hey, look, it has Glare. And then a couple months later, they're like, hey, Gazer's in here. And then a couple months later, they were like, Glare 2's in here too. Or no, it was the day after. They were like, Glare 2's in here. So, like, it's weird. They're like, they did that, and then, I mean, they couldn't plan 9 months ahead with Jirion, but I'm just gonna call it Kamen Rider Jirion until we get an official name, because I'm not calling it Regard, or I'll just Kamen Rider Jiddo. I don't know. If Jiddo has to be a rider, can we at least give him the stick thing, because it's like he beat the shit out of people, with just a stick. So he's got to use it in the rider form. I included this image as well, just because you can see by his arm at the bottom in the slot for what the Vision driver would have. They got the ninja buckle. Looks like it's in there. So I was saying I don't think it's looking good for Keiwa because he has the ninja buckle. So does he get beat up and then they take it, or do they just pull a duplicate out of nowhere? Who knows? Either way, yeah, I am interested in, like, just a little specifically what the ninja buckle does. Like, what does that upgrade do? Also, one other thing, like, this is another thing where I'm like, the belt looks kind of cool, is you would think it's just what's the name? Vision driver. Well, actually, I will give them props. It's not just a Vision driver recolor, it's got different molding. That's nice. But also, like, in this image, it's like a silver piece on the front, and then here it's not silver, or at the very least, like, you can see parts through it. So, like, if they've gotten a silver bit painted over and then, like, the lights shine through, or it turns, like, clear, that's kind of nice. I do like that. Like, I guess, again, it's like, if I had to pick, I wouldn't include a Jirion driver at all. Just do Gazer, Jiddo Glare, whatever. But if it had to happen, they're doing some interesting things with it that they didn't do last year with Deathstream or with Juga. So, I don't know. It's an improvement on Revice, I guess. What cool eye names can I think of? I will not be able to think of any cool eye names, so I'm not even going to try. Hooray, Beroba wasn't redeemed last minute. I did see some people ask earlier, do I think she's coming back? And I do think she's coming back, though, because the actress didn't get flowers. But she might come back just, like, as a last minute, like, hello, Buffa from Beyond the Grave. I don't know. Or maybe if Buffa Mao is, like, a grease blizzard thing and it kills him, then maybe she sees Beroba in hell. That would have been funny. I wish they would have put Swell Gazer in it. Supposedly, Swell is using it. Apparently he's the actual final boss, and after Jiddo is defeated, then Swell is using it, which I will admit, that will make me not as upset, because that would mean at least 2 people get to use the belt. Supposedly he's also getting a different suit, which would mean a different jingle, and it's a different name, and that would be actually pretty nice, if, like, at least 2 people use this belt. But that also did make me think that, it would have been cool if Swell pulled this out in his fight with Geats 9, and then Geats 9 defeated it, and then Jiddo brings it back. That would have been a much more interesting usage of this. Like, it's just annoying. He's been wearing the Vision Driver for like 3 episodes straight and never transformed into Glare. I think that's another thing too. Like, it's just pulling this out in the last 3 episodes is the annoying part of it as well. I'm also disappointed. I really wanted, because we had Jiddo and Samas were working together like pretty prominently in some of the earlier parts of this arc, and I really wanted them to team up. We had yet to see Gazer and Glare or Glare 2 work together, and I really wanted a Glare Gazer team up, and it didn't happen, so unfortunate. Maybe that's what I'm really upset about, because that didn't happen. It would have been really cool. I also where's Sama? Sama's just like disappeared after Sumeri turned into the goddess. Where does she go? What's her it would be funny if she just doesn't appear again. Like, they just don't give that character a finale, because I am curious, like, what would Samus's ending be? Like, did they just fight her and she's dead? I don't know. Like, did they shoot her with a gun? Kamen Rider Providence, that would be cool, but I don't know, it doesn't really fit, I think, like with the eye theme and stuff. Kamen Rider Beating Stick, there you go. That if it does happen, it seems like Jiddo will die in this upcoming episode. Swell will take the driver, and then will transform into the last episode, probably. Also, yeah, I guess that's the other thing that I'm a little disappointed about, is Geats has been really unique with, like, just the way it's been doing things, right? Like with the different arcs and the way the writers are fighting each other, and, like, you know, the expectation subversion. Like, Buffa gets his wish, he becomes a Kamen Rider that can destroy Kamen Riders and stuff. And I think it seems like the finale is just everyone let's team up to fight the evil premium Bandai Rider that debuted in the last 3 episodes. Like, we've done this, so it's like kind of a little sad that when Geats has been so, like, unique with its storytelling, that in the last, like, 3 episodes it just kind of falls back to just doing, like, not even Revice didn't even do that, because the final 2 episodes were fighting Vice, which I thought was really interesting. I really liked that. So if the last episode is versus Buffa or something, then sure, but also it doesn't really work with, like, his character arc. So I don't know, like, it's like how does... I also don't know what they would do for the arc, the final battle, because I thought, like, many episodes ago, I thought it would just be, like, everyone versus Ace or something in his Desire Grand Prix, but his Desire Grand Prix works differently, so, yeah, we'll see, I guess. I do sound like I'm a bit disappointed, but I still really like Geats, and I am looking forward to the finale. Not like, oh, I can't wait for the show at the end, but, like, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in these last few episodes, because I feel like they'll still do something unique. I feel like it wouldn't just be, we beat Swear, woo! Also, Swear's, like, a nothing character. Like, I thought he was fine for a Geats 9 debut fight, what's he gonna do as a final boss? It's gonna be like really unsatisfying to beat him because he has like 0 character. So Samus is probably Ace's secret aunt. I don't know how that works, but sure. What if Nago gets her wish to end the show? I mean, she kind of already got her wish. She wanted to find true love, and her parents are loving her now, or attempting to. So, yeah. I was really hoping for a fan war where Jit has an army of toxic fans coming against Geats' team, and Jean and Kyun come in with supportive fan to help. That would have been cool. Do I think they were too busy on the suit and stuff to work on the buffa form? Like, too busy on this suit to make buffa form, or too busy on the buffa form to introduce it? I have no idea. I don't really know how. Like, it seems last minute to us, but like this footage was filmed like 3 months or 2 months ago, so it's like, well, if February is when we found out about Buffa Mao, maybe they couldn't make it in time. I don't know. It's like, genuinely, I have no idea. We have to wait until like the show ends, but like even then we can't ask like, hey guys, what happened to Buffa Mao? Because they're like, how do you know about that? So we can't really ask any. Last time we asked about something that we weren't supposed to know about, stuff happened. So we can't really ask, hey, where's Buffa Mao? Because they'll be like, Buffa Mao? What's Buffa Mao? Or why do you know about? Anyways, yeah. So, I included this thing because now we're talking about the movie. Here's shots from the movie. Haven't seen the movie. The plot of the movie has been leaked. I will not discuss it here. There is some there's some leaked footage or screen recorded footage of Geats' this Dark Boost transformation and something else that I'll talk about in a second. I'm not posting that footage here, but it looks like a Dark Geats 9 transformation. So if you wanna look at that is available out there on the internet if you would like to see it, but I will not be playing any footage, will not be showing any footage because I don't want to get shot by the Toei sniper that is right outside my window. But the movie seems fun, going off the leak, or the plot synopsis, which I also won't discuss just in case you don't want to be spoiled. But if you do want to be spoiled on gotchard stuff yesterday I talked about, I forgot he's here. This thing, we got our look at the movie form. We talked about the movie form last month, and now it's finally here. Geats, Oneness, and I love this form a lot. So, what if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw my reaction on Twitter where I was like, ah! And, I will admit, I do really like the form, but the main reason I had that reaction and just really like this form is the Boost Mark III half of the buckle is being used on the bottom. Just that form appeared once. It appeared once for like one fight scene, then just never appears again. You go straight into Geats 9. But the fact they brought it back and they're using it as a bottom half, so they show it can be used on the bottom half, is so cool. I love that. I love the Geats aesthetics. I love how they can mix and match and stuff, and I love how this movie form uses like half of the final form technically. So he's got technically he's got half the final form suit on him, and that is incredible. I love that. Like, they just, like, it's such a simple thing. Like, they're like, retail toy, stick on the belt, throw on the pants of the suit we already have, but it's awesome. I love that. So just for using the Boost 9, or the Boost, I guess it is the Boost 9 buckle, but it's giving the Mark III sound. Just for that, incredible movie form. Then the top half is, actually, let's go to the last shot. So the Geats Oneness buckle is using a gotchard card. It's using a Ride Chemi card, which is insane. Like, I don't think, like, let's break it down. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I don't think in the first place we've never gotten a Rider gimmick item that can use other rider gimmick items. Like, let's disregard the Zane driver because that like just happened and that's like a whole belt. We've never had like XA doesn't have a gacha that can use full bottles. There's no Geo Ride Watch that can use 01 progress keys. Like, they've never combined two gimmicks like this, so that's crazy. Then it's not a crossover form. Like, if you showed me this 2 months ago, or no, whenever we first saw gotchard, if you showed me this, I would have been, hey, that's a cool movie form for the crossover movie this winter. How did you see it so early? No, this is the summer form. What? So it's the fact it's like a crossover form, but it's his movie form in the summer movie. And what we don't have any confirmation of this yet, but what I'm really hoping they do is that means this appears in the crossover movie, because it's a gotchard crossover form, right? He's using a gotchard ride chemi card. So if you make, this is a suit you've already made, these are toys you've already sold, you can include them in that movie and it's a perfect crossover form. And then I don't think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think summer movie rider forms have ever appeared outside of the summer movie. Like, they've never come back. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I mean, did Oma form come back in a stage show? I feel like that might have happened, but it's just a stage show, it doesn't really count. Igarashi has yet to come back. Like, these movie forms just go away after the movie. So, like, if this is coming back, that's wild. That's again, that's just speculation, but it's like, if you've made this crossover form, you're making a crossover, surely you would bring it back, right? Okay, Crossbuild also appeared in a stage show. So yeah. Double Gold Extreme? That wasn't a suit, so I don't... Oh, no, right. Yes, it did appear... Right, okay, yeah. Double Gold Extreme was in one of the Megamaxes, or in Megamax. The Forze Cosmic came back and it got upgraded. So right, yeah, okay, so they have done this before. Why are people talking about Elemental Dragon and Build Sparkling? Those aren't movie forms, guys. But yes, okay, yeah, they've done it. Crossover forms have come back, but not in I don't think, no, it has been in a crossover movie. So either way, they haven't done it in a while, at least. Yeah, so it would be cool for it to come back. If they did it again. And also, this would just be like a really cool trend going forward. Like if gotchard's movie form next year incorporates whatever rider is after him. Emotional Dragon. Emotional Dragon, I don't know. Well, it appeared in the show, in the Saber show. So, has movie forms appeared in the show? I guess they haven't. So yeah, I guess it happened in Saber, but I guess it's a little different because it wasn't like a big movie. I don't know, but okay, yeah, Emotional Dragon did it, right. But it doesn't happen too often, at least, right? So I hope they do that. Yes, super cool form. I took a look at the card yesterday and how it works with the gotchard driver, so check out that stream if you want. But either way, I'm super excited about this. The thing is, I love this so much, but the issue is the oneness buckle. I pre-ordered the core, but the oneness buckle is a pre-order bonus with the gotchard driver, and I was like, I don't want to buy any gotchard stuff. I'm already buying these premium Bandai Geats stuff. I don't need to go get gotchard stuff, especially since we know all the cards and stuff is insane. So I was like, I don't need gotchard stuff. And then we saw this form, and I was like, that's a cool form, that's a cool buckle. I have to pre-order a gotchard driver. So if you were looking forward to me unboxing the gotchard driver, that looks like it will be a video that is happening on this channel. So congrats, I guess. I don't know if anyone was excited for that. This is non-confirmation any other gotchard stuff is happening. Just saying. But at least I think I might be doing a driver video. Yes, movie writers appear all the time, but I was specifically referring to movie forms, because yeah, movie writers appear and come back all the time. So, where's the pre-order link? The gotchard driver is not up for pre-order. None of the gotchard stuff is up for pre-order. It last year for Geats, all the Geats stuff I think went up for pre-order like the day of the press conference or the day after, something like that. So they announced they showed off all the toy stuff around that time as well. So it is going to be it's probably going to be the press conference, so like August 8th, August 9th, depending on your time zone. So the actual form for Geats Oneness is also it's fine. Overall I'd say I love the form, so it doesn't really matter what the suit looks like, but I'm like almost loving it. I just think I do really like that they've incorporated all the writers in the movie. All their cores are on it. The core symbols are on it. Like, that's really cool. It's an interesting idea. Some people think it looks ugly. I don't mind it. I love stuff like that. Like Cross Saber, combining all 10 swords. I love that. So this is like the same thing. Combining the powers of riders in the season is really cool. The thing is, at least like with Tycoon and Nago, like on his boobies, and then the shoulder pad has to move, like we just get shots like this where Tycoon is cut off, Nago is like weirdly cut off. It looks like in action shots it just kind of looks a bit bad. Like especially this picture on the right is like Nago just looks weird. But like in this it looks fine. You can't really notice it. So, and then the helmet is the rainbow effect is kind of weird, but the rainbow eyes are pretty cool. Now he was gay for Buffa, but now he's like really gay for everyone. So that's really cool. I like that. So, is that a card in his chest? Yeah. Some people are asking if that's a card in his chest. Others are saying what I've been thinking, and it looks like a Wonder Ride book. I don't know what that is. I think the idea is it's a card. But it also, yes, does look a lot like a Wonder Ride book. And then, yeah, these are shots from... This isn't in the movie, or it might be in the movie, but at least it's in a behind-the-scenes thing, so I don't think they'll shoot me for showing this. But, like, a shot like this is just, like, so badass. Like, it's a Geats form that combines the powers of a bunch of riders, and all the said riders are standing around him. It's a shame that Kalo gets stuck with propeller. He doesn't get a big buckle like everyone else, but it's still pretty badass. I do really like it. It's also like I also love that Kalo and Lopo, like putting Kalo and Lopo on the arms is like really smart because you're incorporating the movie riders into the movie form. But it like the thing you'll see first is Buffa, Tycoon, Nago, Punkjack, which I mean, with Punkjack kind of is like the main cast of riders, and then at least if you include Punkjack, it was like the main cast for the one arc. It was, I mean, I think Punkjack is the only other rider with the special like attachment piece, and they were all part of the Fever episodes. So at least that was like our main cast, our main 5, I guess, because without the Buffa rounds out the main 4, and then Punkjack is like, I guess, part of the main 5 as well. So I like that they got like the main players on the chest, and then they got the other guys on the gauntlet, so you don't really notice them. So that's really cool. And then also just to briefly talk about like the henshin in the movie is, once again, there's things online. I'm not gonna show anything from that, but there's a shot. I know, like, you know, the effect that they always do when Geats riders transform, and they got like the bells playing, and then they show like the rider symbol, like here and then here or something. Oh, wait. Here. No, here. Right, like it's like big and then stuff. Like, they do that, but like with all of the symbols. So like, like they do Lopo and then they show the left arm. They do Kalo and then they show the right arm, and they do the others and then they show the chest, and that is so cool. Like I love that they've kind of flipped the script on that and they're applying it to a rider. Like other riders get to use the symbols, and then it's yeah, I don't know. It's super cool form. Everyone with a special buckle, and then we got Kalo with an armed buckle. Yeah, unfortunate, but could have given him fever. Yeah, boost on both sides, but with different buckles. Yeah, they could have, like what Lopo and Geats did in the one episode. That's what I wish they did. Feeling when Daichi is like 2 times more important to the plot than Punkjack, but he's not considered a main rider. They both don't do like anything. I don't know who I'd prefer between the two of them. I don't. It's the battle of mid, in my opinion. Are Kalo and Lopo the same users? Yes, they are the same. It is Sai and the old man's name, who I forgot, but it is the same people. Punkjack is a pretty large part of marketing, even if he's got a small story presence. That is true. That is true. Tycoon wished for all victims of the GGP to be revived. Yeah, but Kalo and Lopo never died. They just got retired. So they could come back in the show if someone gives them back the cores. So and then also too, like another thing, he's using the Geats 9 sword. I think that's fun. Like I think it's really cool that like the movie forms usually they try to usually make them like a super upgrade form. Like I think like again some of the ones we were talking about earlier, Double Gold Extreme, Forza Cosmic, like Wizard Gold, no Wizard. Doesn't Geats X Geats use a black Geats Buster? Yes, he does. He uses a black QB9, black and blue, of course, and then on the other hand, he's got a repainted Raising Sword, in black and blue. So they've made him. I like the distinction that Geats is a gunslinger, and then they made this guy more of a swordsman. So that's kind of interesting. Kalo could have gotten Magnum at least. Yeah, I've seen people saying that. Like, since Geats is using Magnum, just give Kalo Magnum. Make him a little special. Especially since other characters have used Magnum. So Magnum would work well with Kalo too, because of the lighter colors of the helmet would work with the white of Magnum for sure. I do wonder if actually the other thing that I find really fun about Geats 9 being used on the bottom half is I wonder if, or I've been thinking that they might do the like the end of season Reiwa, the Reiwa end of season tradition of creating some BS super final form or something that's just the base form. I was thinking it'd be really cool if they did Magnum and then Boost Mark 3, because it'll create the Magnum boost jingle, and it's just forms you already have, but it adds like a bit of pizzazz because it's like an all white Magnum form, and then you could have him dual wield the Magnum QB9 and the Forge 0X. So if they're willing to combine Mark 3 and Oneness to create Oneness, I do wonder if they'll do Magnum Boost Mark 3 in the final form or final episode, and they could just call it whatever. Yeah, Trust Magnum Last Boost, Magnum Boost Trust Last Form, whatever, call it whatever you want. But if they use like 2 existing gimmicks, I think that would be pretty awesome. I like how Cross Geats or X Geats is all repaint, but the colors on him are really cool. I also really like that like they're repainting, like the only part of him that is actually Geats 9 is the helmet. He has the exact same helmet in black and blue, but like they've repainted the other parts so that it really matches up with Geats 9. Like you can tell it's not Geats 9, but it looks like Geats 9. So it's a really good repaint. It's a really good idea. I don't love the suit like everyone else. I actually like Geats 9 better because of the red. But I think this is a cool movie form. I remember we got leaks that were like, Dark Geats 9 is happening, and I was like, I don't want that in the show, but if you give it to me in the movie, I'm here for it. And they did it in the movie, so I'm here for it. It's really funny. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like he has an ID core sold with the toy, but like it doesn't matter. It gets covered up by the belt because I mean, like, of course they had to make an ID core because he doesn't start out with the thing in the belt. So I know why they made it, and I'm glad they made it. It's just also funny to me at the same time that you're not seeing that half the time. But I think it's also really fun because you could do, you could include, if you have the toy, you can do Geats 9, and then you could do Magnum Boost, and you can imagine what that looks like or something. Dark Magnum Boost, I guess. Have I heard the movie theme? If so, what do I think? It's alright. I like part of it, but some of it is also just like kind of mediocre. So I haven't really listened to it that much. So maybe I'll like it more if I listen to it more. Thoughts? Or no. So Geats will have 49 and not 50 episodes. Yeah, because we're taking a break next week. So 49 episodes will be the end of Geats, and gotchard starts September 3rd. We already know that. Thoughts on Dark Sumiri? She hasn't really done anything. I haven't seen the latest episode subbed, so I don't really know what her wish like aspect has done. I do like, it seemed like she was granting a wish, and they played like a distorted version of the Sumeri bell when she's granting a wish, so I think that was really clever. I did really like that. Other than that, I assume she's the one who makes the Girion driver, or upgrades the Vision driver to the Girion driver. So I guess that makes, I mean, that makes it less of a, hey, here's this new belt out of nowhere. It's just like, hey, here's the goddess of destruction upgraded a belt so it can destroy more. That makes sense. I do like that. But I don't know, she hasn't really done enough for me to be like, she hasn't done enough for me to decide if I like her involvement in this story. Like I like Sumeri as a character, but this one hasn't done anything. The stream keeps lagging. Is everything okay on your end, Thomas? Yeah, nothing's happening here. So I don't know what is causing that issue. I apologize for any lag issues, but nothing's changed on my end. So, oops, sorry. What about for the final episode they do Geats, Magnum Boost Mark III, Tycoon, Bujin Ninja, and Nago Beat Fantasy? That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be really cool. And then give Buff a Fever Zombie. Yes, please. I would really like that. How do people watch the movie outside Japan? You will have to wait until it gets released on DVD and Blu-ray. Because other than that, there's no way to watch it now. But you can see clips online. When am I expecting Buffa Mao to debut? I think it's going to be final episode only or form for Vista Next. I don't know 100%. So if I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, I think since someone mentioned the Grease Blizzard thing earlier, and I did not even think about it until they mentioned it, I would bet that we're getting a Grease Blizzard thing because it feels very in character for Buffa to kill himself in a final sacrifice against like Jiddo. Like maybe he's the one who defeats Girion and then Swell appears, or maybe he's the one who defeats Swell. That would be a really cool ending of that character. But my money is now on a Buffa Mao final form that allows him to defeat our final boss or weaken the final boss, something like that. Like a Grease Blizzard thing. So that's what I would think, but I don't I really don't know. Like I thought it would have appeared last episode before we got previews. I thought it was like 2 episodes ago, so I genuinely have no idea when or where it could appear. Would be cool if they give Sumeri cross Geats, but it won't happen. That would be really cool. Yeah, it won't happen, but that would be cool. It would be cool if Dark Sumeri becomes... if she became Girion, I wouldn't mind it as much because it would have been cool to have a final boss, a woman rider. Can I show everyone my Desire driver with Buffa Beat Ninja? Yeah, I guess so. Let me grab my cord. Buffa, wait, what was it? Beat Ninja? Oh, it would be the other way then. Oh no, wait, I had it right. This is Ninja Beat. This is Beat Ninja. Okay. If Tycoon's wish was to revive the fallen DGP players, that means Buffa's friend got revived. Yes, that is true. Still hold me for Monster Boost and Fantasy Boost at some point? Yeah, it would be cool. I thought, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Monster Boost is in the movie. No, it's not, because Lopo's using Boost. What's my prediction? Will the final battle be a group or 1v1? I think it has to be a group, right? I don't know. Like, we have this team of riders they've been setting up. I feel like it's got to be a group kind of thing. Or maybe, like, build where they're all fighting. They start off as a group, and then it dwindles down to just Geats, and then he goes into Trust's last form. I can see Buffa taking an attack full with destruction power dying, but then reviving again, except now he has less. Now he has destruction power, turning his zombie buckle into Mao. Could happen. Been watching X8 and got to Muteki debut today. Awesome. I like that suit. Fun fact. Who's actually going to be the final boss? Is it Jirion or Buffa? Well, it's definitely Jirion or Swell. Like, I don't see... they have to do something, like, crazy for it to end up being Buffa. Because he's on the good guy's side now. Like, it would have to be something like Revice, where Vice is the last, like, person Revive fights. But he's not, like, the final boss. Like, it's not like we have to beat Vice and the world is saved or something. It has to be like Buffa is trying to defeat Ace to get rid of the Desire Grand Prix or something like that, right? Like, it has to be it's not going to be like he's the one, like Nago and Tycoon probably aren't going to fight him if he's the final boss. But also, I do think if you introduce this spell, I feel like it has to be that whoever uses the spell has to be the final boss. And Buffa, I don't think is using the spell, so am I going to be the final boss? Yes, I am, actually. Fun fact. I'm upset about this belt showing up because it's actually mine. I don't like that Jiddo has it. It's mine. Unless Dark Sumire taints Buffa or something. Yeah, something has to happen for him to be the final boss. It doesn't feel like it fits right now. When does the movie take place? They haven't said anything. If I would bet, I've been betting a lot of money on things, but I haven't actually been doing it. I think that it is after the show, or it's non-canon, because Red Eyes Tycoon happens next week, so it can't have taken place in between the episodes when the movie actually came out. Also, apparently there's stuff that happens in the movie that does not match with the cameo in the show and some other things in the show, which I won't specify for spoiler reasons, but there's stuff that happens that makes the movie doesn't really fit into the show exactly, but I'm sure I haven't seen it yet, so maybe there's something you can just finagle it into the timeline. But I think it's after the show. It feels like it's after the show. Because also the same writer wrote the X8 movie, which took place after the show, but it came out earlier in the show. And he also had the movie villain appear in X8, but he didn't do anything. He was just there to look at the screen and go, hey, guess what? My movie's out. Go watch it. And that was it. So, can't wait for Buffazillion. Don't say that. So, Jirion Driver Suit is using parts of Vulcan, Final, and Power-Up forms. Yeah, it is using the whole chest and shoulder pad pieces. which actually is really funny. I'm gonna make a tweet about this in 2 weeks, and it's gonna be really funny. It's gonna get thousands of likes. But I'll give you guys a free sneak peek, and it's that in 01, when the final boss rider belt gimmick thing appeared, Arc Scorpion, that was the same episode that Vulcan Assault Wolf got repainted. And then if you skip forward a few years, it's the same thing. It just happens to be the same suit this time. So funny. Is that why the driver is Hyper Muteki Gold? Because it's mine? Yes, that is why it's Hyper Muteki Gold. I hope that for the gotchard X Geats crossover, they bring back 01 Saber and Revice. They could do that. I don't know if they do that really, because it's like 5 years of Reiwa. Here's the riders. I don't 100% see that happening, but I do see them doing something like that maybe. Has it really been 5 years of Reiwa? Wow, incredible. What is with this show's weird Bolshalaga? I don't know what that word means, so I can't really answer that question. In Geats stage show, what form of Geats do I think can get a repaint? I forgot they're gonna do something for a stage show. Let's see. So what other suits have they done in Reiwa? They repainted Arc 1 for 01. Saber, they repainted Emotional and stuck the elemental head on it. And then Revice, they repainted Thunder Gale. So off the top of my head, I want to say Laser Boost. They would repaint Laser Boost. Or Mark II, yeah. Either Laser Boost or Mark II, pretty sure. That seems like likely. But also, Laser Boost would, or not Laser Boost, at least Mark II feels like it would make a lot of sense, because then, like, you can make a whole suit out of that, as opposed to the other ones where it's like half and half in some cases, and it's one Mark II buckle that makes a whole suit. So I would wager Mark II. Well, Mark II maybe with a different helmet. Maybe they throw the Laser Boost helmet or something on it. That would be funny. But yeah, I think it's probably, or maybe the command helmet, because they haven't repainted Geats' command helmet. So yeah, that's a fun question I never really thought of, but yeah, I think they'll repaint that. But also, will they even? There is a non-zero chance they don't even make a Geats form. Maybe they make a new rider, like a new core, a new buckle, and repaint something else for the rider. Give a new rider base form. But I mean, maybe they do both. I don't know. What if instead of Decade, Geo reappeared in gotchard? That would be interesting. But like, the reason Decade's reappearing is because it's like cards and cards. So what the heck? Something weird happened with the stream on my end, but I think it's all fine. It says 0 viewers, but everything is still fine, so I'm just gonna ignore that. I don't know what's happening with that. What 2 writers do I think the Geats V Cinema will be about? I think, well, it depends if Buffamao happens in the show. If Buffamao does not happen in the show, 100% it's a Buffa V Cinema, and it's Buffa's V Cinema. If Buffamao does happen in the show, I would say either Punk Jack, because I guess he's a fan favorite. He's technically a main rider, but doesn't have a final form of any kind. Hasn't used Monster Boost. So I would say Punk Jack, but he also has... No, it doesn't really matter. I was going to say he has the special, but... I mean, then maybe they'll do Punk Jack and Buffa or something, like to the 2 of them together. But what I'd really want, and I also could see them doing it, is a Nago special, because she's the tertiary rider. She has a final form, but it's just a single buckle, and Tycoon and Geats have double buckles, so that'd be really cool, to give her a double buckle in a V Cinema. And then if you do a Nago thing, you could also include Ben and John and give them rider helmets, because because now it's a V Cinema thing, and you can do budget for that. So that's what I want to happen. I don't really see that one happening. I do think Buffa and Punk Jack are more likely. A Jean special could make sense too, because maybe they could have programmed like a V Cinema form in the Premium DX Laser Razorizer, and then you could use that form. There's a lot of interesting options. I don't think a Tycoon one doesn't feel very likely to me, because he already has a final form. I don't really know what else you do with him. So I feel like Buffa, Nago, Punk Jack are more likely, or at least what I would prefer as V Cinema forms or Riders movies. Do you like Nago Buffa would be pretty cool, like the two of them. Especially because he retired Ben and John, so you could do something interesting with that. Isn't there going to be a light and dark ninja buckle? That's I know where you got that from. That's from a leak list thing. But the thing with that is that it was part of the listing of the Memorial Edition toys. We know we're getting Memorial Magnum Boost, Memorial Zombie, Memorial Beat. Memorial Ninja is listed as like light and dark, and that just doesn't make... I think it's a translation error or something. Like, especially too because we also got like Fantasy was listed and Seeker Repaint was listed as two separate listings, only for Seeker Repaint to be a different rider, and in Fantasy it came with Fantasy. So light and dark ninja buckle I think is just a mistranslation of Memorial Ninja Buckle. Do I think they will try to get Saber back if they can't get Ike and Naruto's actor for gotchard X Geats? Probably, if that is a thing they're trying to do. I hope we get Nagos so we can get Neon, Gyago, Ben, and John and Kyun all together fighting. I didn't even think of Gyago and Kyun coming back. That would be really awesome, actually. I would really love that. Do I think Toei can make Reiwa anniversary special movies and gotchard show? I don't think 5th anniversary... well, they did one for Ghost, I guess, so maybe. I don't think they will, though. When are we gonna fight? Right now. Make a support Riders V Cinema? I don't know if they would do that. That reminds me of Metsubo Jinrai, and that was a bad movie, so I don't want them to do that again. I've seen fan art of a Glare V Cinema where Glare is a DGP rider. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that, a Glare v. Well, there's some like jokes like they could do Punk Jack versus Glare, like Laser versus Genmu, and I would actually really like that. That would Glare versus someone would be fun, but just Glare seems kind of boring. Like Girori as a DGP rider, I don't know what you really do with that. So I hope for Memorial Magnum the barrel can spin properly. Probably, I imagine that's what they'll do. I didn't even think of that because I modded mine so long ago that I'm just used to it working properly. But yeah, they would probably do that. At least for the Magnum Boost, they'll probably make new molds because they're a bit bigger in the show, so they can market it off that. Like, look, the toy's a little bigger, but the others are just going to be the same mold probably. Any plans to do a full Shin Kamen Rider video? I don't have plans, I have written it down somewhere. I'm doing it later, but I do want to talk about Shin Kamen Rider eventually in a full video because I do have a lot of thoughts on it. But at the time, I just didn't feel like it after I watched it last week, so I just made the short just to get my thoughts out there. But yeah, the short. I'll put it this way: the short is not going to be my only discussion on Shin Kamen Rider ever. I don't know when I'll talk about it in full, though, essentially. Kalo v Cinema when? That would be cool. Get Kalo in the Penguin. Decade and Gotchard could be like Kaito and Don Brothers, two different persons of the same person. It could be, yeah. We don't know what's happening with that. Gene and Kyun v Cinema. I wouldn't. Yeah, Gene and Kyun could be interesting, but I don't know. Throwing Kekra and Beroba because I already are doing so much now. I don't really need them in a V Cinema. Gazer versus Punk Jack, that would be fun. Triple V Cinema like X-Aid. I didn't really like the triple X-Aid V Cinemas, so I would just say no off of. I mean, they could definitely do it. There's so many writers they could do whatever. Dapon V Cinema is on the table since they brought him back, so like, yeah, there's like anything they could do. Do I think they will do Kamen Rider Geo 10 years after in 2029? Given that Geo is basically decade 10 years after, I feel like in 2029 we might be at least guaranteed Geo appearing in the 2029 show. So, Kekiro should watch Shin Kamen Rider and leave K1 alone. Yeah, just sit him down. You, Frog, watch movie. Go away. Put the frog in his place. They should do with Dawn Brothers and troll the audience on whether Gotchard's decade is the same as Tsukasa or not. See, I didn't really like it in Dawn Brothers after the show ended. Well, I kind of did, but I kind of did it. I wouldn't want to go through that again. Once was enough. Don't do it again. Glare versus Gazer with Glare 2 featuring Jiddo. That, I don't know. I don't need Jiddo in there, but a Glare Gazer Glare 2 V Cinema would actually go kind of crazy, like a V Cinema or a DGP staff V Cinema. Yeah, okay. What I really want from a V Cinema, kind of actually, in some cases, like if it's a Buffa or Neon one, I'd like it to be after the show. But if it's maybe Tycoon or maybe some of the other writers, I don't know. With Geats, I feel like the only way a V Cinema would work is after the show. But what I've really wanted is a V Cinema. For the longest time, they haven't done it in years. I'd like a V Cinema that takes place during the show again. Like Zangetsu wasn't like a big player in the beginning of Gaim, so his V Cinema was like just a random side quest he went on during Gaim. Baron's was like a random side quest he went on during Gaim. That one actually I don't think was very good. I don't really remember it. But like the Duke V Cinema was during the show because he wasn't prominent in the beginning parts of the show. So I really would like a V Cinema that takes place during the show. The problem is, oh yes, here you go. You could do a Buffa V Cinema before episode 1 in that other DGP. Yes. And you can bring back Shiro. That would be awesome. Like, I guess because of the nature of all the writers, I guess, like, you could do other specials or something. Yes, like the Punk Jack special takes place early on in Geese. Like, you could do something like that. Like, if we do the Laser Rays Risers, it would be, or Riders, it would be really cool to get a V Cinema from, like Gene and Kyun again. Something, like, during the first half of Geats where they existed as writers, but we didn't see, or as characters, but we didn't see them sponsoring and interacting with the cast, so we could see that behind the scenes stuff, like Gene watching Ace's game and he tricks Keiwa on something. He's like, haha, cool. Or, you know, Kyun watching Nago get hammered or something like that. Like, then I actually wouldn't mind if you brought back Kekura and maybe Beroba. Like, then we could see all of these characters before the show, before they were introduced in the show, but we knew they existed within the show. Like, that would actually be really awesome. And then obviously then you can make the toy you sell as like the villain or something, and then I guess make Kyun, Kekura, Beroba, Jin fusion form or something. Then you could do now I said I didn't want a Metsubo Jinrai thing again, but see, now you can't kill them because they have to appear later. Or yes, I was thinking that, but I don't know if they would actually do it. But if we could see like Jin, Kyun, Kekura during different DJP games before they sponsored Ace, Kyun, Nago, that would be the best thing. That would be awesome. Like, I think my biggest disappointment from the Geats side content is that this is the one show where they have all of this opportunity for this world. Like, they always, like, the Blu-ray special for, movies that they always do. They did, like what? X8. X8 had episode 0 with Snipe that took place before X8. They didn't do that with Geats, but this is the one show that I actually really wanted it, because I really wanted, like a special or a movie or whatever of that first Desire Grand Prix game we saw in episode 1. Like, maybe just some of the other rounds, like like Ace, Buffa, and Shiro repaint Nago and Tycoon and throw them in. Like, there was a perfect opportunity to give us like a really, really cool like kind of game, or like a special that it doesn't add anything to the world, I guess, or like you don't need to watch that to understand the show. We already have all the context we need of the show. But if we got that side content of, like, it just adds to that world. Like, you could see Shiro before he got dyed and was just a Jamato puppet or something like that. Like, that would have been really badass. Or yes, you could throw in Tarbon, the pig guy. Like, there's opportunities here, and they didn't take it. And again, maybe they could still do it with a Jean V Cinema, Buffa V Cinema. They could do a Shiro V Cinema, but it would be kind of weird to have a V Cinema and the finale is him getting executed. But, you know, like, I was thinking they could call it like Kamen Rider Geats first round, because it was the first round we saw. So if we get a Tycoon special, I'd love Keiwa to have a double buckle that he could share with Sarah. That would be fun. That would be cute, actually. Like a sibling form combination. I want to see the future everyone comes from. That might... Apparently the movie... I won't get into specifics, but apparently the movie does discuss that a bit. So it might be something in the show. But we'll have to see. Given that this thing is appearing and we're getting... Given that the future writers are getting back into action, then maybe he'll give us his backstory, his tragic backstory of why he joined the DGP or something. Imagine Jean was a fan of Ace Garfield. Jean does seem like a guy who would watch Garfield. Do I think any Geats writers will be in Outsiders? No, I don't think so. What's my least favorite Kamen Rider episode? The one where this debuts. I'm kidding. The ones with Subaru Kimura in Revice. So both of those, I guess. If I can't pick one, it's the same episode. Maybe a special from the game Ace, Lopo, and Daichi before Lopo and Daichi were in the show. There you go. Well, I think they might have been part of different games. Ace and Lopo were a game, and then Ace and Daichi were another game. But yeah, I completely forget that they were past players. Like, they didn't really touch on it that much. So yeah, give us that V Cinema. That would be a Lopo V Cinema. People like Lopo. You can give us that V Cinema. Sarah special or movie would be cool. I imagine they would have to pair it with Tycoon, because Sarah. I don't hate Sarah, but she's more of like a support character for Tycoon. So I think it'd be weird to separate her from Keiwa. But like a Tycoon Hakubi movie, and then you give her the form, would be pretty cool. Make a V Cinema of Chirami doing his thing for 2 hours. Yeah, let's do it. Doing the worm for 2 hours. There you go. Like, we've just entered like a V Cinema discussion now, but I actually this is really fun. Like, I didn't even think, like, there's so many possibilities for a V Cinema before, during, after the show. And it's just because, like, they made such a unique and interesting world here. Like, there's so much they could do here. So hopefully they don't suck. I haven't seen the live Evil Demons V Cinema yet, so I don't know how our latest Rider V Cinema is, but I do know the Saber one was good, but the 01 one was bad. Both of them were bad. So hopefully, look, just don't kill your main character in the V cinema named after them. Okay, like if as long as you don't do that, I think, and don't character assassinate your character in the special, in the movie that's named after them, and don't kill them. If you have to kill them, make it interesting at least. Don't do character assassination. Don't kill them unless you have to, and make it interesting. If you do those two things, I think you're fine. I think it'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. See, maybe just don't, like, I don't hate Takahashi. He's written my favorite season and Geats, which I really like, but he's also written some real stinkers of V cinemas. So maybe just take a step back. Who wrote the Punk Jack special? I haven't seen that, but Kamen Rider Geats Punk Jack special. There you go. Okay, well, he wrote it. So shoots. That's not good. Because I was gonna say, get whoever wrote that to write this, but he wrote that. So look, all I'm just gonna say is, Takahashi, just take a step back. Let someone else do it. Live Evil Demons one's okay. Have I seen Juga versus Old Tekka? No, I have not. I don't know if I will. I don't really care about Revice anymore. I want to watch the Live Evil one just because I like watching the V cinemas, but just like a little side special, I don't really care enough to watch it. So he's gonna kill Sarah again, even though she just died. I mean, this is the same guy who killed Hirobi and Jin after Jin just died in 01. So yeah, he's very within his abilities to do that. He has done that before. We should get a V cinema where Jean and Kyun write the V cinema. Yeah, that would be funny. Since Jean apparently canonically watched the Geats movie, I guess. So there you go. Do I think Gotchard is gonna have movie form or extra final form? I mean, movie forms have been things that happened in Rider seasons since since Double, but they didn't make a toy of that. So at least for over 10 years they've been doing movie forms. So I would be surprised if they didn't do a movie form for Gotchard. Sarah got 3 tastes of dead. Unlucky. If I got a Lopo special, maybe if we got a Lopo special, maybe they will make the shark buckle. Maybe, but I don't know. That was just like a fan thing. I don't know if they would really make a full thing out of that. 5 years into Reiwa already. That's true. Would I like to see more premium forms? No more. I know you mean premium, like premium Jin and Kyun, or sorry, yeah, like they would make that based off Kekura and Beroba, but no, I like no more premium Bandai forms, no more premium Bandai anything. Axe premium Bandai. If you can't release it in the retail line, do not release it at all. It's done. You don't need to make it. That's it. And that is my I think we'll leave that off there. So we've been going for like 2 hours and probably should head out. So thank you everyone for tuning into the stream. We had a fun V Cinema discussion here at the end and fun ranting about Kamen Rider Jirion. So if you want to ask me more stuff or whatever, keep in mind in the links in the description, I've got my Twitter and my Discord links, so you can join that. You could just leave a comment on this video too. That would be fun. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because this week I've got 2 Geats. One is like a kind of Geats video, but one is a Geats video. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested in more of my thoughts on Geats, which we've just spent the last 30 minutes talking about. And if you want to see those videos early, I will be releasing them on Patreon early as soon as they're done, as always. Also, be sure to subscribe if you want to see my shorts. I mean, you don't have to subscribe. They're publicly available. But they, Ultraman short came out today. Next 2 days, I've got the Kamen Rider and Sentai one. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see those. And, yeah, I'll leave that there. So thank you for showing up, everyone. Had a fun Geats discussion. We'll probably do another stream sooner rather than later because I do want to talk about. We'll probably do a live stream after the gotchard stream because I always do live stream or no the press conference. You know what I mean. So I'll see you later then. I've never said I'll see you later, everyone, but thank you for watching. This is the wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. Bye.